So can you start off by telling us why you chose Writing to Health?
Well, I chose writing to health because after my doctor told me I was diagnosed with COPD and angina, he told me I had to get fit and be able to do a lot of walking. And I was really afraid to do anything because I was afraid I'd give myself a heart attack. And so I tried to go through the system to find a method of getting exercises and working up my stamina and my strength so it would suit me and wouldn't freak me out about having a heart attack. But the system just didn't have anything. It was all one size fits all kind of group exercises. Sent Writing to Health a email explaining my situation health wise and my fears, and you came back with a very knowledgeable
And
response.
how did you find that to begin with? So you said you had a lot of fears at the start. So how did we help you overcome those?
Sorry if I get a little emotional, but when we first started, the very first day I couldn't do anything and I was really scared and I know I cried. But by the end of it, I felt like I was on the right road, and then I picked the right organization, not to mention just the right person, Melanie. So yeah, that first day was a real eye-opener as to just how unfit I was, having had a career that was mostly desk work.
Yep.
And then my own propensity to just kind of sit around and read or do things sitting around. I really had let myself get terribly unfit.
But about another month to go and it will be a year. So compare that to how you are today and tell us how you are today.
An immense difference. I mean, I have so much more strength, so much more stamina. My breathing's even better, although it was a lot better when I was working harder on not smoking than I am presently, but that comes and goes. That's nothing to do with personal training and exercise program, but I'm in a better mood. My moods are more level. None of this up and down stuff. I'm 60 years old, so, menopause. And the exercising and everything seems to really help with that, actually. And I don't have the mood swings. I don't have the hot sweats and all that as much as I used to. Physically, I mean, I can bend down, kneel, not kneel, crouch down to get something out of the bottom cupboard and stand up without having to pull myself up or ask Lynn to come help me get up. And I mean, just little things like that. I'm so much more, I can do it myself. I can do it myself now. I can do a lot of things myself that I couldn't do before because I was so weak. But yeah, it's just a great feeling. I'm real happy.
Awesome. And how has it been for you doing one-to-one PT? So we have done it a couple of ways. We have done it in person and we have done it like this, virtual. So you don't always visit us. So tell us about that. How's that been for you?
Well, virtual is pretty cool actually because I'm a scientist and I like tech, so I think it's cool doing this. I can stay in my home where I'm comfortable, and have everything I need right here. And there you are on the screen, and it's just as good. The only thing is I can't give you a hug. I like to hug. In person, that's really cool because you get to go to the gym, walk on and work on the rubber floor, and you get to use all the different exercise equipment that I don't have here, especially the boxing gloves, which I love doing that. Boxing rocks. So no, I think it's good both ways. If I lived in Invercargill, I could come to the gym all the time, but I'll say this for people who can't get out, even if they do live in Invercargill, if you can't get out, you don't have a ride, or maybe you're not quite as mobile or something, Skype sessions are the way to go, and they're just as good. They really are. And Melanie's great about looking at what do you have at home you can use and working those things that you have at home into your exercise routine. As you can see, my ball and my bike and my weights on the floor.
Yeah.
So And I
Awesome.
have to say, some of the equipment that I've bought, in case people have to buy equipment, it's not very expensive at all. Balls are cheap, so are the little hand weights.
Now you're mentioning equipment, just tell us what it is you've got there that we use.
I've got my big ball, as you can see in the corner there, that's great for sitting on and trying to balance and doing all sorts of bizarre exercises she asks you to do. And my stationary bike, I think we've only used that a couple of times to just warm up on. And I do have what are these called? That's a skipping rope. This is the tension bands.
Resistance
Bands. So we've only used that a couple times, or maybe once. I think you forget I have them sometimes. I forget I have them. Those tension bands are great, though, if you're just sitting around reading a book. You put it under one foot into the handle, and the other one, your arm, you can work it. But anyway, that's off the subject. I do want to get myself some boxing gloves and boxing pads so I can do the boxing at home. Lynn can be the pad holder.
Oh, yeah. If you were suggesting to somebody that to come to do PT, whether it be virtual or whether it be in person, who do you think would be the ideal person? Who would you suggest would try this if they're sort of sitting at home thinking, oh, I don't know, I'm not sure?
That's exactly the person I would suggest, the ones who are uncertain, that have fears. Maybe they're uncertain about, is this going to work for me, or is this going to be too hard, or are they going to try to make me do stuff that's just not right for me? I really think anybody that has any questions or concerns, this is the one to go to, because Melanie will work with you and understand your situation emotionally as well as physically, and work it out with you.
So was there anything else specific that you wanted to add?
Yeah, Writing to Health isn't just a fly-by-night. They pay attention to, I forget the organization, but it's an organization that they belong to that kind of help.
Register of Exercise Professionals?
Yes, the Register of Exercise Professionals. So it keeps them on their toes, keeps them updated training and learning new things. And the register, it's not mandatory for exercise organizations, which I really think it should be. And Writing to Health voluntarily joined it to stay up at a high level of competence. So I think that's really important that, they're not just we used to be into sports, so we can teach people how to do stuff. No. They're learned, they're trained, and they continue to be trained and learn more. So trust in them.
Now, there is one other thing that you do that we haven't actually mentioned, and I've only just remembered it, and that is the classes that you do with us, but you don't do with us. Can you just tell us a bit about that?
Oh, you mean the buns, abs, and thighs class?
Yes.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. If you become a client, some things are kind of free for you on Facebook. The buns, abs, and thighs class is done at Writing to Health, but it's recorded through Facebook Live, and on the day they do it, sometimes I'm not able to be here on time, or I'm really worn out from what I've been doing. But I can tune in on time and do the workouts with them, or I can actually go to it later and watch it and do the workouts. And I'm still doing it with them. They're not live at that time, but usually they make some kind of comment and say hey to me, so it makes me feel included. And that's really nice. It works with my schedule, being able to go to it later if I have to. And another thing, too, is I started out doing the fitness app.
Oh, yes.
Melanie and I would do 1 day a week personal training face-to-face or Skype-to-face. And the rest of the time I used this fitness app. Melanie would design specific exercise programs for me. And then I would use the app, and it timed me and everything and counted down as I was doing the exercises. and there were videos for each one. Massages. I had an old injury flare up in my shoulder, and Megan, who does is one of the massage therapists there. She worked on my shoulder after I would go to physio. And between physio and massages, my shoulder came right. And she's very knowledgeable because I asked a bazillion questions. And some I knew the answers to, so I was sort of checking her. And she always had the right answers that I knew. And then I learned a lot from her as well, especially about the shoulder area and all the muscles and everything involved with that. So I think that there's two other massage therapists besides Megan, I believe.
Yes, that's right.
I hadn't had an experience with those two, but I've heard good things. So that's something that Riding to Health also offers. After you've had a good hard workout and you're feeling lots of pain, you can have a massage. The last thing I wanted to say was I haven't really worked with any other trainer other than Melanie, so I don't know if they all do this, but I would assume so. Melanie is very good at positive reinforcement. She always finds something throughout your workout to compliment you on and say how much you've improved, or remember you couldn't even do that before, or something like that. She never is like a drill sergeant up in your face trying to force you into doing more and doing better or anything. She does encourage you to do better. She does cheer you on, but it's always very positive, and I really, really enjoy that, especially since I'm hard enough on myself when I get slack. It's nice that my trainer also isn't hard on me about those kind of things. So I think that's really important if you decide to come to Riding to Health. You'll be in really good hands with people that have very good attitudes, knowledgeable, and encouraging.